just going to do a little bit of a walkthrough on my diesel heater hot water system. So we've got our diesel heater down here, and we've got our thermostats up here. So what's going to happen is when you switch the diesel heater on, it's going to be pumped to a radiator from the diesel heater. So from the diesel heater through the pipework to the radiators. Once the radiators get hot enough, this heat exchange will then start a pump to then pump water from the radiator into a tank. This dial here basically is going to be showing the hot water tank temperature. Once it does get to temperature, it will then turn off automatically your heat exchanger heat. What would normally happen is, because this is still running, the heat would be still constantly pumping into the radiators, which means then this water in the pipes would start to turn into steam and start a bubble. So I've needed a way to divert the heat from the radiator out into the garage or van, wherever you would put it. So then what I've done is attached a RC solenoid. So what happens with this is, when this temperature on the radiators go, yep, it's too hot, I'm up to temperature, and the tank's up to temperature, the tank switches the heat exchanger off, which then will trigger the solenoid to, instead, at the minute it's diverting into the radiator, it'll throw the switch across, bringing the heat outwards to another area. So I will do a little demonstration of that and show you how that works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a manual test on the servo. So basically it needs to get to 19 degrees on the tank. So what I'm going to do is just get the temperature sensor, and what should happen is this should throw it to the opposite side once it hits temperature. There we go. So it's now diverting the heat into the garage or a van, whichever way you want it. Now it's just a temporary setup, so there is just wires holding it on for now. But if I drop this back into the water, so it's saying that it's cooling down, it's now diverted the heat from the diesel heater down the pipes and back into this. And just once again, if I grab the sensor, it should throw it over to the other side once it hits temperature. There you go.